Hey everyone. So every driver's had this experience, that awkward moment at a four-way intersection where everyone stops at exactly the same time and no one knows who's next. And you know how it goes, you look around, maybe two people start at the same time and have to stop, everyone ends up gesturing each other and it looks like this, right? And the question is, what's going on here? I mean, this is a totally normal part of urban life that just completely unravels under this specific set of conditions. And the stop signs are on every corner. Like, the law should be clear. And in addition to the stop signs, there are these rules of right of way. First one to stop goes first. Straight line traffic goes first. None of these rules apply. If everyone stops at exactly the same time, they're all trying to go straight. There's like a blind spot in the law, and that's what we see. And I think when the law fails, we get to see what underlies the law, which is the need to negotiate a social contract. And that's what we're hashing out in the middle of the intersection when we're all gesturing at each other. We have to become the traffic cops in this case. And, I think this is really interesting. I mean, it's this one kind of precise moment in the life of a city that shows us something kind of interesting. And what I want to talk about tonight is the role that technology plays in helping us to negotiate the social contract so we don't become the angry cat, right? So going back to kind of the beginning of intersections, when the automobile first came onto the scene, the kind of ultimate disruptive technology, in England, they passed this series of laws called the Locomotives on Highways Acts, which showed that they already had no idea what they were dealing with, like really didn't understand, the automobile. And this is the best one. This is the Red Flag Act of 1865. Those flags came in all different shapes and sizes, apparently. But you basically had to have a flagger walk in front of your car to regulate your speed and warn people that you were coming. And it kind of makes sense. There were horses on the roads and kids and doing whatever. But not very scalable, right? If everyone had to have their own police, traffic cop, it's not going to scale well. So then we start to see inventions like this, the semaphore, gas-powered contraptions. This is a manually operated traffic light, also gas-powered. These tended to explode in the middle of intersections, so safety, not quite clear. Fast forward 100 years, we get to the modern traffic light. And I think, the thing that changes an intersection with traffic lights compared with the intersection with stop signs and allows us to avoid the weird problem is somewhere in here. It's the clock, the circuitry of the traffic light, that allows us to sequence traffic through the intersection. And the word for that is an algorithm. The use of algorithms to these, application of algorithms to these kinds of problems is increasing. It goes way beyond just traffic lights. This is the M25 Highway in England, one of the busiest highways in the world. It's covered with radar, video cameras, sensors that stream data to a real-time control center that can change the speed limits in real time in response to changing conditions. So they can make graphs like this that show, an accident happened at 7:30 and that shock wave rippled upstream, up the exits over time. And we experience this on the 101. You're sitting in traffic, there's no accident in sight. It happened hours ago. So this system can preemptively lower the speed limits to ease the flow of traffic into congested areas. People are really starting to talk about this as these algorithms get, more sophisticated. Computational law is one thing. Tim O'Reilly talks about algorithmic regulation. I think this is a really fascinating topic. And you think about how crude, the aluminum speed limit signs are and stop signs, and we just have so much room. There's a risk here. The risk is looking at a city like Robert Moses did, the master planner of New York, and just, jamming highways through the city without regard for neighborhoods. That's kind of the basis of every dystopic sci-fi film. We know how that story goes, but I don't think this is a problem with technology. And in fact, I think technology is probably required for a lot of this stuff. I mean, look, this is the classic symbol of justice here with the scale. We have to measure and weigh. So I'm really excited about what's coming next. I think we're going to see a whole new generation of lawmakers that use these new tools to frame new kinds of laws and hopefully optimize for the common good and not just ad clicks. So thank you very much.
you.